The year is 1794 in Paris. The French Revolution is in full swing. Thousands of people being sentenced to execution on the assumption that they are enemies of the revolution. As your neighbours, friends and family are seized, you live in fear that you could be next. The goal is simple. Don't lose your head.
The French Revolution was a turning point in France's social and political history. Leading up to the revolution, the disparity in social inequality between the very wealthy and the very poor became more and more obvious, and a growing number of middle-class citizens meant that people had the numbers and the resources necessary to overthrow the monarchy. In the 10 years from 1789 to 1799, the monarchy was crushed, and a government representing the people rose to take its place.
Previous to the revolution, in the French Enlightenment period known as the Age of Enlightenment, a group of French writers known as the Philosophers developed numerous social and political theories. These theories were based on the principles of liberty, tolerance, progress, and the separation of state and religion. And it was these principles, mixed with a growing and large middle class, that led the French people to revolt. This history will play an important part in Vive la Revolution.
A particularly bloody period of time, from September 93 to July 94 during the Revolution, was known as the Reign of Terror. With civil war spreading from the west and growing hostility between left and right-wing political groups, the revolutionary government began to take harsher measures in order to prevail. During this time, more than 16,000 people were sentenced to execution by guillotine by the Revolutionary Tribunal, with nearly 3,000 of these executions taking place in Paris. Vive la Revolution, The Reign of Terror, is an educational adventure video game that puts you in the shoes of a citizen during France's bloodiest year. The game opens with you being sentenced to execution. To escape your fate, you will complete a set of challenges involving historical places, people, and events significant to the Reign of Terror. Success means you live, failure means you die.
The indoor sets within Reign of Terror will replicate the interior design style of the Baroque period. While much of the renowned architecture during this time is considered neoclassical, it was very much the Baroque aesthetic that mid-18th century interiors were known for. Baroque design can be categorized by its intense ornamentation, opulence, and the appearance of movement, either within its form or its decoration. The player can expect to be taken through famous interior spaces whilst undergoing their challenges, such as the Hall of Mirrors in Versailles, Les Invalides Cathedral, and Galerie d'Apollon in the Louvre. Challenges the player may face while navigating these spaces include: clean each of Marie Antoinette's 17 mirrors in her Hall of Mirrors before the time runs out, or she'll have your head. Find the checkpoint under one of the chairs in the theatre of the Château de Fontainebleau to advance to the next level. Or, Charles-Henri Sanson is after you. Locate Charles Le Brun's Night painting in the Galerie d'Apollon of the Louvre before time runs out to prove you didn't steal it.
Paris played host to many of the most significant architectural sites and architects during the French Revolution. For educational purposes, this game focuses on the architecture which once epitomized the power of the ancient regime, the monarchy, and was then used by the revolutionaries during the Reign of Terror and consequently the French Revolution. One challenge a player could face might be securing stones from the ruins of the Place de la Bastille, once a prison during King Louis XVI's reign, which will be later used to build the bridge of the Point de la Concorde, purposely constructed so the people could continually trample the prison underfoot. Or the path where the wall of the Farmers General once stood, which was designed by renowned pre-revolution architect Claude Nicolas Ledoux.
In terms of landscapes, the gardens of Versailles was the most significant of the time. They were the greatest achievement of the Baroque style gardens in the 17th century and were inspired by the architecture rather than nature. Its original straight geometric shapes with flattened treetops and manicured hedges gave way to more natural shapes by the mid-18th century. During the French Revolution, some of the trees in the gardens were felled, and people decorated vegetation to occupy the open area of the garden. One challenge the player could face is the fast-paced chase scene through the gardens of Versailles to escape revolutionaries. The player's knowledge of the gardens is crucial to whether they escape.
In response to social changes, fashion during the Revolution and the Reign of Terror was simpler, less extravagant, and highly political. Influenced by the people's wish to achieve liberty, equality, and fraternity, the clothing was altered to be in contrast with what was worn during the Renaissance. Politically, colors play a big role during this period. The revolutionary tricolor, red, blue, and white, were made into cockades that were essential to every citizen of Paris, as it displayed patriotism and support of the revolution. As a physical embodiment of the power of the people, any citizen who were wearing the cockade could easily be accused of treason and sent to the guillotine. Incorporating this in the game, the player must search the city of Paris for a person to take their place in execution. The player must collect 3 items of clothing: blue woolen breeches, as extravagant materials were placed by more modest ones, a white cotton blouse symbolizing the decrease in decoration and shift to block colors in women's garments, and a red corset, which would discourage as they inhibited body movement. Once located, the player will be presented with questions about history and significance of the item. If the player is successful, they will be given instructions on where to locate the character whose cockade they can steal, therefore framing them for treason and replacing their own head on the guillotine.